I remember the first time I was training, I was still a participant at that time. When it comes to mindfulness, I didn't see the correlation. In fact, um, I would actually push away the topic. But the thing is, every single day, it's very much needed in our function. So we pay our bills, we wake up to electricity, we wake up to how are we gonna function day to day? And that always involves a few pesos, always involves, let's say, saving. How much can we afford to do something every single day? So not only does it have a direct correlation, but it is really part of the human life. That without it, especially in modern society, a human may not be able to function, because even those without money, they would be needing help from others also to give them resources for them to function.
Our topic is money mindfulness, from POMO to MIMO. POMO stands for power of money, and MIMO stands for mindful money. So it's from power of money to mindful money, and in short, POMO to MIMO.
It's not only a part of life, it's not only a part of functioning, but it is something, whether we like it or not, we need. But not all of the money worry are facts, like all our other worries. Hindi lahat yon facts. So if when we see them as mental events, when we can now actually see our own portfolio of beliefs that, okay, this is just a mental event. But yeah, for instance, paying for the Glow bill, that's a fact that needs to be done. Okay. But how we relate to paying for a Glow bill, especially if a package that we cannot afford anymore, then that's what we're talking about. Like, what decision needs to be made there, and how do we relate to that? Focusing on breathing and on the body allows people to disengage from sticky money thoughts. Why? Um, Thoughts are usually sticky. Sometimes they're like race horses or like the racetrack over there. So, meaning to say, it doesn't, hindi lang sa money issues or sa money worries, but when we bring our attention to the body, it's slower moving. That's the reason why it affects the nervous system, especially when we are triggered and with our different stress responses, to pay attention to the body to help the mental and the emotional part of the nervous system. Ulitin ko lang po. Simply put, the invitation is to bring the awareness to the physical part of the nervous system to help the emotional and the mental part of the nervous system. Okay, decreasing the importance of money as an extrinsic motivator allows to increase the potential of creativity at work. In fact, they did studies also. If you go to the website of MBSAT, Mindfulness Based Strategic Awareness Training, you can even type MBSAT. You would see there certain studies that money is an intrinsic and an extrinsic motivator. Okay, the main intention is to balance the two and to take a closer look of our intrinsic motivator. Okay, so what are examples of extrinsic motivator? Carrot and stick, reward and punishment, ano pa ba? Bonus, reward. Okay, any form of reward. So when it comes to extrinsic motivation, it comes from outside of the individual. Now, what POMO to MIMO does is to increase the intrinsic motivation, meaning to say it comes from inside us, inside the individual. And the studies that I was talking about is employees are more creative when they are intrinsically motivated. In other words, when the work itself is motivating. Okay, so it also is a reminder, especially I remember when this was given to leaders, my teacher was sharing that was the single most that was number one information that was very important for them, is to cultivate intrinsic motivation, the intrinsic motivator in their employees. POMO to MIMO. The first part is I will, as we settle in within ourselves, I will ask you to recall a situation of deprivation, of perhaps somebody saying no, that you didn't get in when you were young. Okay. And please know, like with any mindfulness practice, if it's too activating for you, know that you can bring your attention to your feet. You can bring you can actually not listen to my instructions. You can open your eyes. And then when you feel ready to do so, then you can just join back in, okay? Knowing that you have many options when it comes to caring for yourself, okay? So right now, after that, then we will take a closer look of what's happening to the body, what's happening also in our present moment relationship with money. And then we wrap the entire event with a very short practice called first aid, the breathing space and money worry. Okay. Because guess what? How the body behaved then that you may not be aware then. The difference is when you cultivate the practice, you're aware of it now. That when the body behaves now with a certain money crisis, money challenge, money issue, whatever it may be, the decision making, that intrinsic, tinatawag natin, that intrinsic motivator to give yourself a choice and then proceed to the decision pertaining to that issue. This is just 3 minutes, and I promise that I promised you, all of you, to teach you also a practice. Now, what if, Tucci, we don't have naman enough time to actually sit and think of something in the past, okay? Na wala na akong oras para doon. So that's why we call this first aid, because it's when you are worried right there and then I invite you to practice this, okay? It's a particular practice on worry, specifically money worry. But please remember, it's also applicable in anything that you're worried about. Okay. Okay, so let's begin. Mabilis lang to. It's just about 3 minutes. It's 3 steps. That's why it's called a breathing space. There's step 1, step 2, and step 3. So before we close our eyes, think about the current worry with money that you have right now. Just what are you worried about? But in particular, financial. Okay. Okay, if you have it in your mind already, then close your eyes. As you close your eyes, becoming aware now, you already have the thoughts. Becoming aware now of your body. How is the body right now when you're thinking of a money worry? What are you feeling, or your emotions? Is there fear? Is there sadness? Is there anger? Frustration? What's there? And at this very moment, noticing how you are. Are you stiffer? Does the body feel more tense? Your own action impulse? And now we bring our attention to our breath. Breathing in for 6 seconds. Breathing out for 6 seconds. If 6 seconds is too long for you, then experimenting, making it 4 or 5 seconds. As you breathe in, doing your own internal count as you breathe out. Three more rounds of breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Then breathing out. And last one, breathing in for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing out for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And releasing the count. As you notice how you breathe through your nostrils. Breathing through your chest. If you like, you can even put a hand on your heart or your chest area just to feel yourself physically breathing. And the belly. And now, paying attention once again to your beta. Noticing the thoughts that are there in this present moment, right here, right now. Noticing your body. Your emotions. And how you're behaving right now, your action impulse. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Okay, so, pasensya sa overtime. How was that? How was that? Di ba nakita nyo? It didn't solve our money problem for us. That's not the intention. That's not the goal of POMO to MIMO. But what the intention, once again, is to give us the capacity of an informed choice in decision making so that we can proceed, that it's coming from wisdom and not from agitation or reactivity or even self-centeredness, but coming from a state of calmness, of consciousness that's caring and that's clear. Okay.